As a senator, especially more so than a House member, you're going to have to weigh in on foreign affairs. So, what are your thoughts, your positions on Gaza, on Ukraine, on U.S. aid, and our global leadership?
So it's a couple of points that I want to make. First, our State Department has basically been dismantled.
Yes.
And you put rookies in there to go across to try to enter in negotiations that don't understand the history of the region. When we think about Ukraine, and after the dismantle of the Soviet Union and those areas within Russia, now Ukraine and several others, now what Putin is trying to do is strengthen his hold on the region. He has gone after certain areas within Ukraine, the minerals, wheat, all of these products that are so meaningful to feed people. And if you look at the territories currently being occupied by the Soviet Union, it's all about the attempt to keep more power. And so we have to, as the United States, continue to stand up. My good friend, and love him to death, but I think he should have fought harder to get Ukraine to be a part of NATO. And that was Joe Biden. I love the guy to death. But Ukraine needs to be a member of NATO. That will relieve some of the burden of U.S. dollars going towards military aid. So that's what we need to be working for. And everybody in this room that are stewards of history knows just how troubling over in Israel and Gaza and that area have been over time. President Carter tried to have the Camp David Accords. Every single president, with the exception of Donald Trump, has never have not tried to have a meaningful negotiation to create a peaceful situation in the Middle East. So Benjamin Netanyahu, similar to Donald Trump, wants to stay in power. How does he stay in power? By chaos and conflict. What does Donald Trump do? Echo that message. We have to have a president and a Senate and a House that are trying to find a balance, that are trying to make sure that economically we support Israel with our monies far greater than any other country on earth. And we have to create a balance. If they're not going to treat humans with decency, we're not going to keep sending them weapons of mass destruction. If we're not going to make sure that when we send aid, that it doesn't get to the people that are hungry, then we're going to have to start cutting some aid. So I think it's very practical. We want to stand with Israel. We don't want other countries attacking, but we have to find a balance. And that balance is just not saying harsher words like our president does, speaking down to people instead of encouraging people to come together. So as a United States Senator, I will be calling the president out when I don't think he's doing the right job for the people. And that's what it comes to. And the last point of this is within the United States Senate and the power for appointments, particularly in the State Department. We can't just approve somebody that just woke up and said they wanted to be a diplomat, and because they was working at Donald Trump's hotel, he gives them an assignment. It's ludicrous. You want somebody trained in foreign policy, somebody actually that knows that Africa has more than 40 countries. You want to know the history. I mean, everybody talks about, oh yeah, you can just bomb them and that's it. No, we got to have smart people. And I just question right now how many smart people at the State Department, because this secretary has no experience in foreign policy. A couple of years ago, he was called Little Marco. Well, I want Marco and Lindsay to join themselves at Mar-a-Lago and get out of the American people's government so we can get this thing turned around. Thank you.